Hi, this is Sensei John, and I just want to say thanks a lot for listening to this and checking out our page. We are opening a club. This is not a school in the formal sense. It's an actual club. It's a gathering, and I have been studying martial arts for well over 30 years. The idea for this club came about with the fact that a lot of single parents, a lot of people who are transient in their work situations, or perhaps they have people coming and going in their lives and don't have time for the weekly commitment that it takes to show up at a class. What we wanted to do was provide a format for those people, those families, to still get the benefits of martial arts and karate. Specifically, the benefits of karate, martial arts, training for children is to improve discipline in the child, enhance self-esteem, improve listening skills. It allows them the ability to really pay attention. The contact that a child gets also improves socialization skills, provides physical fitness and improves healthy living. It really helps to avoid obesity, improves their motor skills, education against things like bullying and attacks for both a child and then later on in life. Stress management. It really improves the respect that they gain for the people around them, their peers and their elders. It promotes the skills and sense of resolving conflicts without violence. And you say, well, this is a martial art. This is a skill of the ability to both defend yourself and potentially return or counter an attack. The truth is that what we study specifically has to do with de-escalation. How do we get out of a situation? How do we stop from getting hurt? How do we stop others from getting hurt? Now, those are the self-protection techniques. But more importantly, we also are developing our self for the part of martial arts, which is the art form. And what art form is that? Well, that's movement, that's body mechanics. It is the ability to not hurt yourself in certain situations. As well as, and the thing that I really love about this is you can compete. You can actually go to competitions. And we definitely promote that part of the art. Now, I got to tell you, the process for this is a little different than most people. You start off and yeah, you do home training. But you know what? Home training in and of itself is not enough. We recognize that. So for us, this club is about having regular meetings. The northern region of the United States at this time, you will be able to have some form of a meeting. Further, you're going to be able to train on a quarterly basis as well as test. Now, can you submit video testing if that's appropriate? Yes, you can, but understand you still have to make physical contact with people at some point. And when I mean contact, I'm not talking about the contact of attack or preventing an attack or anything. I'm talking about contact of actual socialization. I'm talking about the ability to actually go into a place and talk to someone and work with them. And that is something that's required on a quarterly basis, both for testing and some meetings. You do have to have some attendance to a meeting. But honestly, there's enough ability and places for you to do that. It may involve some travel on your part. And if you're not prepared for that, that's fine. The good part about this, the cool part about this is that if you have a child, if you have someone important in your life and you want to do an activity with them, you can schedule that time. Now, there are certain times when, there's scheduled events. You're also going to be involved as the parent, as the person that your child looks up to, because you're there interpreting what the instructor does. You, in effect, become the assistant instructor. And the other great part about this is to have interaction, feedback, and actual testing from a live component. Now, a lot of people ask me again, and I've said it before, but what about video testing? Yeah, we will offer it, and we do offer it. It is not our first run. Let's talk about a second about what else you get for benefits here. So one of the really cool things that we offer here is third-party certification. Now, understand how this works. The club can give you certification and you get promotion within the club. The problem with any club promotion that is not connected with a third party of some form, unless they are the actual national organization, which usually is much more expensive, has different guidelines and rules, rarely allows for home study training or seminar type training where you can do your certifications. What this allows you is that you get verification independently from the club and the group. Now, a club and a group of, it could be anywhere from 5, 20, 30, 50, right up to maybe 100 people in your club. That is the value of the people's certification. No matter what the standard is, those are the people that recognize that certification without question. Now, that doesn't mean that other groups and organizations won't recognize that certification, and that's kind of what we also look at when we're doing these cross certifications with third-party certification. But the groups that we get certified or have, and really it's not us certifying, it's you getting certified through, and I want to be real specific about that. The group that you get certified through, in addition to the club certification, because you may decide, hey, I'm happy with this, that's enough. Because obviously, when you start adding more certifications, there's always a cost associated with it. And one of our big tenets is to try and keep the cost down. But we want to give you the avenue because some people may look at it. Now, understand, the certification at the club level is going to be as good technically, and I use the word technically. In other words, if you can't pass ours, you aren't going to pass their certification, the third parties. And we are not going to be of any benefit if we don't bring our standards to the point where you can pass the third party certification. Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to say here, and this is a struggle we've always had with trying to just do clubs, because I've been involved with a lot of clubs, and myself personally, I was involved in California on military bases with some really outstanding martial artists, some of them national champions. Some of them were just come from the highest level of training. Now, I have to tell you something. So what happened at that point was when we go to form this club, we're trying to make it as accessible by everyone. However, that in and of itself it may not be enough for you. You want to go to a higher level, and you want to have some verification that somewhere even above us, someone is saying you're legit, you're doing it the right way. Well, what we've done is we've made alliances with these third-party certifiers who are national organizations. Now, some of them have 800 people as members. Some of them have 20,000. And all of the time we're moving forward. And we're trying to make more and more alliances and make sure that our programming, corresponds with their programming, so that we know that our instructors are, the people that are actually working within the club, have a level of certification either as a personal trainer, have a certification as someone who has been in a specific style. Now, do understand that for the most part in the United States, there's really no one certifying body for martial arts. Only systems and styles have certifications, as well as, and I'll give you an example, some of the Korean styles are backed by the Korean government because that's just their processes. However, that is not the United States. And legitimacy, when you see the history of martial arts, you're really going to kind of scratch your head and say, really? I mean, this is where this came from? Okay, I will relay a quick story here, and then we're going to kind of wrap up this session and move on to more information as we go on. But I'm not going to go into the details of who it was or the organization, because I have great respect for that organization and specifically for the people involved. I will just say that this information was relayed to me by a very direct source. And what I was told was that after, especially certain Japanese systems, after World War II, a lot of those masters were killed during the war, or they died because of age. And as a result of that, some of the training, while it was codified by the group and the organization, some of the meanings, some of the bankai, some of the actual techniques and what the applications were, have been lost over the years. So there's discrepancy. It's open to interpretation. Now, that's just one example of the history of martial arts, and I'm going to, through this programming, also give you a lot of history of martial arts. Some of it's going to be fantastic. Some of it you're going to scratch your head and say, really? In the end, I want you to understand and ask yourself just 3 primary questions if this system is going to work for you. And specifically, not just the system, but the club, because that's what we're talking about. As a member of the club, are you going to find that the other members of the club fit what you are looking for in life? 2, are you going to find that what the club aspires and teaches falls within your set of principles? And finally, do you feel that this will be of benefit to you and your family? Because that's really what this is about. This is a family-based club. And I'm going to get you more information as we go along. We're going to just keep coming back to the site, keep coming back, and we're going to turn this into a podcast probably to really get you revved up to understand it. It's probably the best way that I can get this forward. I know this is going to appear on YouTube at this point, but however, you'll be able to get it on Stitcher and iTunes at some point. I want you to know that we're moving forward with this, that this is specifically, our plans are as a not-profit organization. We are in the processes of making sure that that gets codified so that everybody's happy with it. We want to really dot our I's and cross our T's. So we have members right now who are all over the place, okay, and a shout out to some of them up in Alaska. I'm just going to look real here. CW. We use initials because, there's some privacy issues. We respect everybody's emails, privacies, everything else. It's all about socialization, but, the world's not as safe as it used to be. So we want to make sure that, and I guess there was a question, really, was it ever that safe, right? Okay, so anyway, so a shout out up in Alaska, a shout out down in Miami to TR, a shout out, I guess in Albany area from JK, and finally up in northern New York, up in, where is that? Burlington, Vermont. We're looking at TL. No, sorry, TL is in northern New York, and RJ, I got to look at my email list here. I'm sorry about that. RJ in Burlington. So, okay. Well, listen again, thanks. This is the first start of this. We're going to move on. We're going to get you more information. So keep following these. And if you got problems, let me know. Hey, by the way, sign up for the upcoming webinar event, all right? Because that's going to be a video event. You're going to be able to actually get some feedback there. And then what we're going to do, once you sign and opt in on that, that is coming on the end of November, the first part of December. And sign up for that. We only do that once a month right now. We're gonna try and up these things, but as time allows, and this is, I'm into the same circumstance, right? I mean, we're doing this because it's got to fit our time frame. So anyway, be well, be safe, and keep kicking. Talk to you later. Bye.